I got up really early this morning to go to a botany final. Ugh. So I'm going to read this little poem called Inhabited, which kind of has to do with botany, but I didn't really know anything about botany when I wrote it, so it might not also be scientifically accurate. So don't take notes. It's called Inhabited. Spore, climbing inside me and looking for nutrients, a place to root. You always reach for the darkest, dampest spot. You're drawn toward the unmoving, toward the rot. I feel you clinging there, and it's like an itch. I want to open up my gut and let the sea air in, and let the sun shine in. It will shrivel you, dry you, it will kill you, or simply hold you in stasis until I close up again and dampen the inside with my sweat and tears and let the sweet rot grow in darkness. Spore, some future day when you've spread your fine hair-like roots far and wide throughout my system, you will send your fruiting bodies to the surface to let me know. And all the world will see I am simply your host, the bloom of love upon me, and the mark of one inhabited. You will split open, and a million spores shall drift forth like pheromones, drawing in, attracting the dampness, darkness, the warmth, the secreting fluids of all around me. When can I stop fighting, stop hoping to rid myself of you? What am I without you? Without love? Surely there must be a reciprocal parasitic function, an explanation for your perfect invasion of my body and soul. Thank you. Okay, that one I didn't read. Here's another one I didn't read before. It's the first time I ever read it. And I just want to say, I can't see anything with me. Can't see anything far away with these on. It's lovely to be here with all these literary nervous breakdown types. But I have never considered myself literary or a writer. I'm a singer and a lyricist, and I guess maybe a poet. But when I was hearing people read tonight, I was like, oh, I don't know anything about writing. So anyway, I just write this shit, and I don't think about writing. So there are no periods. Let them know. Let them all know. Let it spread across the city like the wind across the Moscow treetops, rushing, rushing in a long, long white car toward the pregnant October moons. Driven by a lesser devil, we spun, flying toward the stroke of your hips. We were crashing even then. Inside that glass-strewn room, we crashed into each other, knowing as we did the looks we would have to push aside, the silences that waited on the other side of night. We crashed through and into one another inside that long, fast car, hurtling toward the words that couch surrender. I don't exist. You make me exist. No one asking the cost, the price of this night, not yet knowing the cost, but seeing in my mind's eye your impossible silver and golden eyes, and knowing that I would not hesitate to do it all again. Your limbs, my eyes, our flesh, making that simple declaration that all the world seems so terrified of now. The yes. Thank you. And I'm gonna read one more piece. This one I read last time I was here. It's called Xmas List. And in case you're not in the know, aside from being an Avenger and a folk singer and all that, I also work at the library, the main branch down there. And I have a fucking great job there, and I'm in the information services department, so I am a professional know-it-all. It's like the perfect job for me. And one of the things that I had to do a couple years ago was to create a list of internet cafes for all the people who had used up their hour or their 15 minutes or whatever the fuck on our free computers and needed to do more work on their important whatever it was. So I went out wandering the streets of the Tenderloin and Market Street and South of Market and looking for internet cafes and making a big long list, which is now totally out of date. So if you get it from us, really pay no attention. But while I was doing that, it was cold, and it was Christmas time, and I was walking down Market Street in the middle of the day, and I saw a man, and he was down on his knees, and he was walking along the sidewalk on Market Street on his knees, and he seemed to be pretty much out of his mind, and I wrote this poem about him, and it's called Xmas List. This is for the ones who are down on their knees on Market Street, genuflecting, but not in a swing dance, seeking redemption amid the Christmas shoppers, the hustlers, the private fantasy screening booths, the sellers of discount cigarettes and red, white, and blue cell phone covers. I'm gathering information to give to the tourists for their email checking needs. Our digital communication abilities are limitless. But really, what is there to say? I'm thinking of you, thousands of miles away, not of the man, down on his knees, down on his luck, maybe on the outs with his God. Otherwise, why the hard time spent scraping and shuffling along, arms flailing in the shape of a cross? Jesus never hung for so long. You can find him every day, but Sunday, his prayers remaining unanswered, his Christmas list unfilled. I'm against it. I cannot forgive his God, and I can't forgive the blind eye and the endless cheer of your ever-expanding credit line. I will stand aside, away from the twinkling lights, the steaming roasts. I will not line up for it. I erase my Christmas list. I pray for clemency. Jesus born, Jesus died by our hand, and now the kneeler who dies beside the glow of our holiday spirit, who dies of cold in dark doorways, littered with our Christmas lists. Thank you very much. Thank you, Tony.